Hey guys, how's it going? This is once again The Color of Boom. Today we're going to be going to the Sharjah Classic Cars Museum in Sharjah. And similarly to the Ibn Battuta Mall, I have been here before, but a long time ago. Similarly, I must have been like, I don't know, like 6 maybe. But in any case, I'm hoping it's going to be good. I don't mind a car. I like looking at cars, and I mean, especially older cars. My dad has a really big thing for that, so I get kind of a bit of that. I don't like all the new spazzy cars, so hopefully this will be interesting. I don't know much about it, and I don't have really any memories from when I went there before. But I got my coffee, and we're gonna be going over there. So I guess we'll see you guys there. Look at all these chickens. Goodness gracious, this car is super low. I mean, like, you'd be crawling into it. Looks like it says it's an Impala 1960. God damn. Whoever got this car super spruced it up, unless it just came like this. I mean, you can see all the other cars in here are sort of like mundane colors. This one is like, wow. Just kind of jumping out at you. Hey guys, we just got back from the Sharjah Classic Car Museum, and I'm super tired. It's super late. It actually wasn't that long, and we went kind of early in the morning. So we actually got back pretty early, but then I had a lot of stuff that was going on, other things to do with other things in the day that we don't have to talk about. But in any case, so it's kind of late now. that I'm recording this return video now that I have had a time for my thoughts to collect, and I can talk about this pretty interesting museum. So obviously this museum is all about classic cars. I believe that these cars, they didn't ship them from outside except a couple of the more rare models. And this isn't like the height of museums. It's like, oh, you want classic cars, come to this museum. No, this is just the UAE's version. This is the best we got, basically. And it was opened in 2008 according to their website, and also according to their website the oldest model that they had in there was a model from 1917, but that's besides the point. That's just a bit of informational stuff. Altogether, the museum was really cool. I liked it a lot. Cars are not particularly my forte, although I believe I mentioned in the video, I don't remember exactly, but if I did, you would have seen that I mentioned that I do like the look of old cars, especially from like the 1940s to like the 1950s. Sorry, I got that, 1950s up until like the 1980s. And I think I get that a lot of that from my dad because he really likes cars like that. But in any case, so it was really nice to look at, and I don't know why, I just have a thing. I really liked the really old ones that have like the crank that you have to start up the car. I don't know why, I just thought that was funny. But all around, the museum was very it's cut up into 5 segments, each one for a different era. Like it goes by about 10 or 20 years each segment. Each segment is like a pedestal that you walk up a couple stairs, and there's like the major cars on display like around you. And then there's a few cars off, like sort of in the middle of the place. The place isn't that big. It's a pretty big size, but it's not like huge or anything. Like you could see from one corner to the other without, and you could easily shout at somebody on the other side of the area. But yeah, so there's 5 segments, and each of them is based on a timeline, except the last one is just trucks, big vehicles, and cars that were like first bought or first used in the UAE. I don't know exactly. I don't really understand it because UAE doesn't make cars. We don't have a car company that's based in the UAE. But according to the sign, it says UAE based cars. So I don't know. I guess it was like manufactured for the UAE or whatever. But I didn't see anything that stood out like, oh, this is the UAE. But in any case, that's a small thing because mostly it was just trucks. And so then that part was true. And I really thought it was cool to see like the old fire truck, which I think you may see in the video, and if you don't, you'll definitely see it in the blog because I took a picture of it. But the old fire truck and the old ambulance, like that ambulance is like an actually, like I would actually take a ride in it just for like actual ride's sake. It was like, it's just so cool, you know. It looks like really I don't know, all old cars to me just look like that, like snazzy. And it's designed by Chevrolet. It's like you probably wouldn't see any ambulances or fire trucks made by that anymore. Or at least here in the UAE, it's all like Toyota or Nissan, because they make the cars cheaper and they're a little bit less quality. But in any case, it was super cool, and probably my favorite car. I believe, yeah, my favorite car, I have a video of it. It's really close. Of course, the one with the American flag underneath the hood, of course, is the second place. And you would think it's the first one, but just because it's under the hood, I don't know, it was kind of, I didn't really like that. I would have liked the whole car to be the American flag. You know me, I'm super whatever about the American flag. Anyways, so because of that downfall, what ended up being my favorite car is that one that I took a video of that's got like stripes and stuff on it. It has like a maroonish color, because that, you see literally every single car except for that car and the American flag one. Every other car in the whole museum was one color or 2 colors, or maybe even there are a couple that were like 3 colors, like two colors with a few splotches of other colors. This one, as it was like you're walking through and you see all these mundane, like black and gray and green cars, and then suddenly there's like whoa, and it's like super low to the ground, and it's like a drastic change from, because it's like right after the first section, so it's like all these old crank up cars, and then suddenly you see this like Cadillac, and it's like whoa. And it's like a big upgrade. But in any case, that's my favorite car, my favorite part of the museum. What I thought was the coolest thing about the museum was at the end of the museum, they had this like little interactive section, which I did not get any videos or pictures of because my camera died, which is always great. But in any case, I still had fun with it, and I can still talk about it, and maybe I'll find some pictures to put in the blog later. But in any case, they had one that was an old engine from a Ford car that you could change the gear on. So they still had the gear connected to it. Excuse me. And so so then you clicked a button and it would start up the engine and the pistons would be going, and you could change the gear to see how the engine changed. And it wasn't anything like drastic or whatever, but I still thought it was cool. And then they had innovative pieces. So they had these tires that had been taken from a Ford car and turned into cushions, which were sort of okay, fine. But then they had the actual Ford car that those tires were taken from, and it had been turned into a small sort of cafeteria sitting area, which was really cool. So then they had like a few cars that made up a cafeteria sitting area. And so like you were sitting in a car with a table in the middle, so like in the back seat, they like basically almost completely took out the trunk and just put another row of seats so that there's two seats facing each other, and then they put a table in the middle, and then there's of course still seats in the front. And I don't know, it just kind of had a cool look. But the most capturing part for me, just because it was a puzzle, is that they had a puzzle, and it was one of those puzzles where it's like, I don't know the name of it, I'm sorry, but I don't know the name of this kind of puzzle, but it's like, you know, it's like a bunch of just blocks, just squares, and there's one square that's empty, and there's one segment that's empty, and you have to keep moving around using that one empty space. You have to keep moving around the squares until you complete an image. And what we were the image that we had to complete was this, was an advertisement for a Ford car. And good God, we were there for probably, we were at the actual place for like a little over an hour, and I'd say like half an hour we just spent at that puzzle, because we had one square that was one square that was wrong, and you know, it felt like a Rubik's Cube, or we took the mentality of a Rubik's Cube that if you have some problem, generally most of the time you'll have to like you have to redo like half of everything that you've already completed in order to fix that issue that you had. And so we must have redid the whole thing like 11 times. And they had a little timer thing that you click this button and a timer started, so you could see, and then there was a reset button or whatever, so you could see how long you took. And I was like, I first got up there, I was like, I'm timing myself, I'm doing this. And I ended up stopping the timer, so I don't know exactly how long it took me, but I stopped it at 16 minutes, and we were probably there for another 10 minutes or so. But in any case, that was the most fun part, because of course me and my mom were there, and we got to laugh at how stupid we both were, and you know, we had fun. But in any case, it was really fun. I enjoyed the museum. I'm sorry there's a lot of museums for these last few posts. I'm gonna be changing it up. It's just museums are some of the most interesting things to me, and there's a lot of like clever museums that they have around here. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's down in the description the link to my blog, that probably is much more of a collective discussion about it and speaks a lot better than I'm saying right here verbally because I don't speak well. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.